Hey, soul survivors, this is extremely important. And I bet you no other YouTuber has talked about this. And I was talking with a friend, texting back and forth, and I have told her your feelings are very valid, but if you don't change the way you think, it will consume you. So nobody has talked about this because a lot of times you hear your feelings are valid, you just need to express them, and the narcissist isn't listening, and all these kind of things. So let's talk about our feelings being valid and why sometimes in the healing process that we need to change the way we think, and also knowing our own value. So as an example, I, as of just now, have a new job, and I got this job offer, and I'm like, whoa, that's way too low. But I also knew my value. I have 5 endorsements on my certificate. I've been teaching. I just have a talent for it, and especially in the subject area that I'm going for. And so I had told them, we got to negotiate this. You're not accepting all the experience that I had. And they tell me about the bargaining agreement and what needs to be under a certificate and all this kind of stuff. But I'm like, I know my worth. So we went round and round for about 2 weeks, and it net me $23,000 more a year by knowing my worth and being willing to walk away. So sometimes you get an abundance when you're willing to walk away and you also know your worth. So that's an example of knowing your worth and being willing to walk away. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm very happy in the outcome. So we can settle. If I settled for that lower salary, I would not have liked it. I probably wouldn't have stayed. So we also have to remember that in relationships, that we're going to kind of have a little resentment or a little bit of uncomfortable or a little what else is out there that will give me what I want. And you can do it with salary. You can do it with a relationship. You wanted a better partner. That if you settle into the wrong thing or settle into something that doesn't see your worth, it'll get uncomfortable, and then you'll start searching elsewhere. So, or also you could feel like you settled, and that kind of leads to a little bit of depression. But as far as knowing that our feelings are valid, we're sad, we're depressed, we're anxious, we're confused, all these things that when you listen to all these different YouTubers, they're going to talk about your feelings are valid, and they are valid. But just like, let's say I was overweight and I'm like, I'm so fat. I'm so fat. I don't want people looking at me. And that can be a very valid thought. But looking at it that way in a negative, this is what's wrong with me, will start to eat at you. It can cause depression, can cause, the comfort eating, the overeating, or eating disorders where you're not going to eat enough because you are trying to compensate for these valid feelings. So when we have certain valid feelings, hers wasn't about weight, but hers kept going to negative. So she wasn't looking at the positive, she was looking at the negative, just like your house. You can look at, like, it's nice and warm, I have great insulation. Or you can look at it as like, everybody else has a bigger house than I do. Or I live in a trailer with a small yard, as opposed to I have a yard, people in apartments don't. So how we look at things will lead to our happiness or our sadness. So the things that we went through with the narcissist can give us very valid thoughts. I feel like they didn't see me as a whole person, that they saw me as less than, and that can be a very valid thought. But you have to know who you are. And if there's certain things like, yeah, I didn't cook, he has a valid reason that, I wasn't the perfect housewife, maybe I didn't cook, I should have done that. That doesn't really necessarily go to who you are, but if that's something that you feel that you should bring to your next relationship, you can work on that. We can't change the past. So we can look at the things, I was a loving wife in this way and that way, and I always, whatever you did, but our feelings are valid. Our feelings are meant for us to learn from them. But if we can change the way we look at certain things, you know, and we need to eventually, even though we were victimized, to get out of necessarily the victim mindset, that we're a survivor mindset. That's why we're soul survivors, that our soul survived, and take great pride in surviving what you went through. So when you are ready, if you can shift from the victim mentality to the survival mentality, that is when you are going to be freed. You'll still have some things you need to work through, but that's when everything's going to open up for you. You're going to start to have a better comfort. You're going to feel more settled. You're going to be able to do more things. You're going to get better rest. So our feelings are valid. I'm 6'1". I don't like it, but I'm 6'1". And, you know, I can reach things on the top of the shelves. I can help people. Every time somebody at the grocery store asks me, excuse me, I know they need help reaching something. So there are things that we can't change, and we have to own certain things. Now, if I could change my height, that'd be different. You can make progress, you know, on your weight to get to a different thing, so you can celebrate the milestones. If you have a setback, just get back on getting back to what you are hoping to achieve, that we don't give up on ourselves and we accept the things that we can't change. And it's a mind shift that will lead you into survivorhood. Is that a word? So self-worth, know it, and things will come in abundance. My job is just an example. But know your worth, stick your ground. And if it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. There's other opportunities out there, just like there's other people out there. We have to know our self-worth. And also, our feelings are valid, but we need to celebrate the positive things in our life and not dwell on the negative. And that's a mind shift that will lead to such a better life. I promise you that. So if this is something different than anybody has ever said, hit that like button, subscribe, share with somebody that this might help. You are a survivor. Look at all the positive things. And I'm here to help you. So topic requests are welcome. I'll make special videos for you guys. I also do one-on-ones, and I'll see you in the next video.